Nigeria are calling on the federal government to implement the ABUJA declaration of allocating 15% of its annual budget to health in order to guarantee the health of women and children living with the virus. At the peaceful protest to mark the World Population Day in Abuja on Wednesday, Program Officer of the Association of Women Living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, Faruna Benedict, emphasized the need for government to improve family planning services for women, especially those living with HIV. Edward Ogenye, who is a national program manager of the International Community of Women with HIV in West Africa, frowned at the derogatory treatment of members by medical personnel and called for an end to all forms of discrimination against persons living with HIV in Nigeria. July 11th each year is marked as a World Population Day, and the theme for this year is family planning, empowering people, developing nations. Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello has received a vote of confidence passed by Executive Committee of the All Progressive Congress APC in the state. At an emergency state executive meeting held in Lokoja, the committee frowned at a recent publication in the Nation newspaper of 7th July 2017 by a group of APC members whom they classified as diaspora politicians. We apologize for the mix-up in that report. But this is the World News on AIT. More reports after the break. Stay with us.
They see chaos and conflicts. We see community action for good governance. They see poverty and want. We see perseverance and the will to go on. They see economic law. We see the ingenuity and creative spirit of our people. We are AIT News, fresh, authentic views of Africa. How would you rather see the world? AIT News, all sides, all the time.
And back to our earlier report, persons living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria are calling on the federal government to implement the ABUJA declaration of allocating 15% of its annual budget to health in order to guarantee the health of women and children living with the virus. At the peaceful protest to mark the World Population Day in Abuja this Wednesday, Program Officer of the Association of Women Living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, Faruna Benedict, emphasized the need for government improved family planning services for women, especially those with HIV.
We have many problems in the facilities, especially among adolescents. You discover that so many adolescents are dying from unsafe abortion in the country. We want the government to do something about it. Saying abortion is not safe, because of that, adolescents and young women go to quack doctors, and as a result of that, some of them die, some of them have their womb permanently damaged. Also, we want to encourage the government to keep to the commitment of increase funding for health, especially for maternal and child health, so that we can work past this issue of maternal death.
Edward Ogenye, who is a national program manager of the International Community of Women with HIV in West Africa, frowned at the derogatory treatment of members by medical personnel and called for an end to all forms of discrimination against persons with HIV in Nigeria.
Women living with HIV, the discrimination is there. For example, if you go to health facility, some women will tell you that there is a separate labor room for women that are living with HIV. The way they are being treated in terms of careless language, unguarded language, discriminatory language, and the fact that when women living with HIV are in labor, the nurses, they do abandon them. And as a result of that, many of them, instead of going for family planning, they will not go for family planning, and they will now take the pregnancy. And if that continues, the population trend will continue to grow, and that will be unhealthy population growth.
July 11th each year is marked as the World Population Day, and the theme for this year is family planning, empowering people and developing nations.